Hi guys, hello and welcome to another Microsoft Excel tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to learn about conditional formatting. There are a lot of color coding that you can use in your Excel workbook or worksheet, and that is an indicator for you to know little different things about a lot of things. For example, if you want to see in the sales 1 column automatically as a visual indicator which sales are more than the other sales or the sales that are towards the higher end, you can select this whole section and you can go under conditional formatting. And on conditional formatting you can go under data bars and you can pick one of the data bars. It could be a gradient fill or a solid fill. Let's try both of them. When you pick a gradient fill, you will notice that the higher the value is, the more it gets filled. The lower the value is, the less it gets filled. So just by visually looking at it, you can see that Amy and Ali did awesome in sales 1 category as compared to Jim and Andy and some of the other people. And some are like mid-range, like Fatima and Maria and Abby and Omer. They're mid-range. So you can see a lot of these indicators right here. So you can have a gradient fill or you can actually have a solid fill. So what basically it does, it goes with the largest value and gives it 100%, and all of the values are in comparison with that value. So let's say if I do a gradient fill over here, and let's say for any reason Jim actually had it sale for 100,000 instead of 10,000. Now as soon as I make that change and press enter, you'll notice he becomes the largest and everybody else shifts around and everybody's in accordance with Jim now. So if I drop Jim back to 10,000, now things change in accordance to 10,000. So this is how it keeps shifting. In Sales 2, I'm going to use a different way of conditional formatting. That is with the help of a color scale. So if I want to use a color scale where I want to use green for the large values and red for the small values, I can actually choose the very first criterion. As you can see, the higher the value, like 74,000, 83, 81, they are darker green compared to 63,000, and 37 is yellowish, and all the lower values are red. So that's a good indicator in terms of showing the values of higher versus lower. Another indicator I'm going to use for sales 3 over here, and that is the icon sets. So if you want to use different kind of icons, like if the value is larger, you want to see green icons. If the value is lower, you want to use red icons, and for the intermediate values, you want to use the orange icon. And then you have several different data sets. You can actually use the squares, you can use the telephone bars that you use for ratings, you can use stars. You have all these different criterias to choose from. So when you are done choosing any particular criteria, you simply click on it and it gets finalized. Now let's come down to another sheet. Let's have a look at Larry's place. And Larry's place has some of these values like costs. So now the higher the cost, it's not a good thing. So instead of color coding in green, I want the higher costs to be color coded in red. So I can go to conditional formatting and I can go to color scales, but instead of choosing green for higher values, I'm now going to choose red, which is right next to it. So red will going to be for the higher value and green will going to be for the lower value. So as I click on it, it shows me, okay, these are very cost-effective like these are not cost-effective locations. They're very high-end cost locations, and this is a cost-effective location. So this is how I can color code and see which of my items and which of my locations are have a higher cost factor and which have lower cost factors. So color coding is extremely beneficial in that case. In the next tutorial, we will actually gonna play around with highlighting cell rules and top bottom rules, but today I want to just highlight on data bars, color scales, and icon sets. Have a great day. Catch you in the